got a lot of imbalanced stuff. We're gonna do some cracking, but more than that, we're gonna see what we can do with the body work. So this one isn't as mobile. This one comes back a little bit more. This one won't come back behind his head as easily. And also it feels restricted, right?
Yes.
Got it to crack. Well, a little bit went. Okay, right there is horrible. Yeah. And that's just nasty, right? It's just horrible.
It's very painful.
Very painful. Okay, so we have NASSAR here today, and you came down from Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Right? Thank you for coming. And you watch the YouTube channel.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, cool. Thank you. He's got a lot of imbalanced stuff, and we're going to do some cracking, but more than that, we're going to see what we can do with the body work.
Okay.
Because you have, like, here, put both arms up. So and try to put it behind your ear. So this one isn't as mobile. This one comes back a little bit more. This one won't come back behind his head as easily. And also it feels restricted, right?
Yes.
His rib cage is a little shifted this way to the left. You could drop your arms now. Here, turn this way. And this is how you feel it too. You experience more on this side.
Yes.
And you can even feel it. Here, put your hand here. You feel how the ribs stick out there a little bit more?
Yeah.
So it's, instead of his belly here, it's pushing that way. A little bit to that side. Then you have pain in the hip.
Yes.
The lower back.
Yeah.
Down the leg.
Down the leg.
Your left side doesn't feel very
Active. I'm not
active, or it doesn't feel like your leg.
That's right.
Right. And what I mean by that, and I think he understands, where sometimes we'll have like one arm, if it's injured, it just doesn't feel like my arm, like it should. While this side might feel really in control and you can do whatever you want with it. And this side feels like someone else's arm.
Absolutely.
And you feel that way with this leg sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I swim, this one doesn't move.
When you're swimming, laps?
Swimming, I just cannot,
Yeah, and you say you play
fast.
tennis. You
I
enjoy
play tennis, yes.
And it's not the best side to push on.
Not at all.
Okay, so let's do a few things. We're going to have you start face down.
Okay.
And we'll see where this takes us, okay?
All right.
And you're going to put your arms out all the way out to here. Now, we talked about this already before we turned the camera on, but the type of care that I could offer him is part of a process of, if he's willing, if he likes what we do and he's willing to come back, it would take time. He would have to be willing to stretch at home, to start opening up and getting his body more flexible and limber and stronger, but in a flexible sort of way, like yoga or Pilates. And you do swim. Swimming is great. It's going to take more than one adjustment to balance his body. But today we're going to start. And this is the stretching machine, okay? So this will stretch you a little bit. Do you feel the stretch?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to dig out some of these muscles and just try to help. Try to get him open a little bit. I do feel a lot of tightness and rigidity in here, so we'll see how much actually can crack or pop. I certainly going to try, but this might not have popped in a long time, right? Mm-hmm. Does it or no?
No, I didn't.
No. So I'm coming up and down the back into the muscles on either side of the spine. Now I'm on the left, kind of the erector spinae muscles coming up and down the back on either side of the spine. Right now I'm on the rhomboid minor, rhomboid major, moving up into the trapezius. Here's the levator scapula, back on the trap. Hitting the other side now. Now I'm on the right side. Levator, trap, rhomboid major. There, you felt that one, right?
Yeah.
And then rhomboid minor. So it's interesting, the right side is actually kind of tighter and more constricted, and the left side is less activated, right? The left side is the one that doesn't fire as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have as good mind-body connection, the left side. So here I am now on the right, and this is painful here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Too much, or is it okay to keep working?
Yeah, keep going.
All right.
Oh.
All right, good. So we're going to break out a little bit of the Hypervolt for a minute. Now we're going to be at the top here going down this way. So I'm going to open up the ribs this way a little bit. And there's a lot of rigidity in here. It's very tight. The muscles and bones aren't flexible here. There's not a bounce to it. I'm a little concerned if I just blast this, I could hurt his ribs. You know, and a lot of people watching always just want to see big cracks, but sometimes that's not what's appropriate. So when I get in there, I'll feel and see what the body's giving me. And more than the entertainment value of putting this on YouTube, the most important priority is taking great care of a patient. And so we'll see what his body wants to do today. And I'm definitely a hard-hitting, heavy-style, aggressive chiropractor, so you know I'm going to work it hard, but I also take pride in not wanting to hurt people, you know, and doing the right job.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's something too, sometimes over a period of time, sometimes people open up more and more. So let's say I'm working with someone and I see them over, you know, every couple of weeks for a couple of months, you might get more and more layers open up. Where the first time, not that much, they come back more, they come back another time and even more releases. You feel this tightness here, NASSAR?
Yeah, very tight.
Yeah.
Just not moving here.
Yeah. And so there's a term for it, it's called joint play or spring in the joint. And you can see my thumb moves, or you can like bend these bones a little bit. There's wiggle to it, there's spring and rubberness, elasticity. Here it's like a brick wall.
Yeah.
It's not springing, especially right here, rigid, right? So, gotta figure that out. I'm going to turn off this machine for a minute, and we are going to probably switch tables eventually, but turn on your back next.
Yeah, that's a good idea, not
To what?
to very
Not-
carefully go on.
Yeah, like good idea not to break your ribs.
That's right.
It's a great idea not to break your ribs. Do you feel this muscle here?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he told me earlier
Oh.
that this is a bad spot for him. So right now I'm on the right side, and this muscle here is his SCM, sternocleidomastoid, And it's called that because it goes from the mastoid bone to the sternum and to the clavicle. So there's 2 insertions down here. This is sternum, and this is clavicular. And then it comes up here and attaches to this bony protuberance on the occiput called the mastoid process. And so now I'm coming off the mastoid and sliding down, and that should be very tender on you, isn't it?
Ow.
Yeah, very tender right there. So that's the SCM. And one more time. Good. Now I'm going to tilt your head a little bit. Got it to crack. You hear it?
Yeah.
And there's another one. So I got 2 good cracks out of that. It's a good start. I'm going to see if there's a lower one. I'm going to drop down to C7, T1 and see if I can get one lower one too. Made a tiny noise. It wasn't a big crack. You heard it though, right? A little bit.
Yes.
Good. So now I'm going to reach this way and feel these. That's another bad spot. So I'm now doing the bilateral comparison. I'm on this side now, and that's nasty. And he's in a lot of pain. He's been feeling very uncomfortable in his body for a long time. Okay, right there is horrible. So again, I slide down from the mastoid. I get about halfway down to the belly of the muscle is where he starts to feel the real pain. A lot of times people feel it in the insertion or the origin, but he's feeling it in the belly of the muscle. That's the midpoint of the muscle. And that's just nasty, right? It's just horrible.
It's very painful.
Very painful. Okay. So drop. There's another click. So I got some on each side. That's nice. Scoot down towards me, sir. Thank you. One more. Come down again. Perfect. Now I'm going to this is here. Look at me for a second. This is the part that I'm going to experiment with. I don't mean experiment with technique, but I'm going to go in and feel what the body is willing to do today, because it felt the rigidity was excessive and I don't want to hurt his ribs. Yeah, that's like a brick wall. You know, my dad gets like this. My dad used to have a flexible back in this area, but as he got older, he wasn't able to get that part adjusted anymore because it kind of solidified. I'm not going to blast into that because I would probably break your ribs today. Okay, and that's not a good idea. Lie face down. There's other ways to move that joint though. Okay. So now you're going to lie on your belly again. So just to recap that, this has kind of really locked up to the point that there's a little bit of calcification and rigidity to the point that if I came in and just blasted like you see me do in all the videos that I make, I'd probably break several ribs. And then you might hear a crack, right? But to what cost? The cost would be horrible. I would break his ribs, so he'd have breathing difficulties and chronic pain for months to come. So this is a percussive instrument called the ArthoStim, and I'm allowed to work on him this way, or like it's suitable. And instead of contraindicated, it's indicated as a acceptable form for someone with this type of rigidity through here. And this will still give some motion. It taps 10 to 12 percussion taps per second, and I can get some mobility in here. It's not too bad, is it? It might even feel good in a way, right?
Yes, it does.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Good. Next, you're going to put this aside. But I do want to try some ribcage movement with him, okay? So now I'm going to have you come stand up and come to this other table.
Back.
What?
This area is very painful.
It's very painful right now.
Okay.
So you're going to lie face up. So this table has a lot of bells and whistles on it. And we're going to drop your head if you can, let your head fall. And maybe scoot down a little bit towards me. Now his rib cage is shifted to this side. And you feel that, it really leans to this side. So we're gonna bring it back a little bit. So you're gonna feel the table lift up dramatically under you, like that. And we're gonna start to bring the ribs back down.
Gonna be soft move, yeah.
Yeah, it's warming up. Here we go. Put your hand on your belly here. There it goes. You hear it click a little bit. Did you hear it pop?
Yeah.
So I just brought this over a little bit. There's more to do. You can feel this even tight. Do you feel this?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So now I'm into his abdominal area, and that's even tight. So now we're going to lift the other piece of the table. Quick release in there. You feel the hips pull up?
Yeah.
So I just pulled on his leg, but pulled all the way through to the hip.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Next, you're going to lie on your belly. We're going to start to do your lower back and pelvis. So this is a very different video than I've done before. It's not different for me. I just don't typically have a video like this to record for YouTube. But this is something I do in my office. And he wanted to put it up on YouTube also so you could share with your family, right?
Yes.
Get a link and send it to them, which is nice. Scoot down towards me a little bit, towards your feet. A little more, 2 more inches. Thank you. And now we're going to release the pelvis. So now I'm only going to activate this part of the table, the pelvic part of the table. And now the pelvic piece lifts. And we're going to open up the lumbosacral joint like that. Let's do a few. And now I'm going to drop out the belly a little bit. I lower the belly, tension, and go right through the lumbar. Good. Got it. All right. So let's try something. Lie on your side facing me. We'll see what flexibility you have in your lower spine. We know the rib cage and thoracic area is blocked and locked up. I'm able to get some motion using the ortho stim and some of the movement that we already did. But, you know, we want to do as much as we can without hurting them. Well, a little bit went, right? You hear it?
Yeah.
Good. A second one. Good. So come to the other side. So I felt 2 little pops on that one, 2 little pops. And all movement should be celebrated because
Yes.
you've been stuck for a long time. A little bit there. Did you feel it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, good. I'm gonna have you come stand up and move around now. How do you feel? Put your arms over your head.
Yeah, much better.
It feels different, right?
Yeah.
And I know you don't know, he'll walk a little bit, see what your legs feel like, because I know you said your left leg feels weird all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it feels a little bit stiff here right now. Here, the muscles here.
Stiff in a bad way, or?
In a bad way, yes.
Okay, so see,
This one all the way into the...
so it feels worse.
No, it feels much better now, but
Okay.
it's still there. I mean,
Yeah.
the stiffness is there.
Okay. So let's do 2 more things before we finish, okay? I'm going to have you lie on your side facing me. So you're going to go back to this table and turn on your side facing this direction. And let's get this leg open a little bit, okay? So, so this is where the IT band meets the edge or the outer third of the hamstring. And I'm going to come up here and work this band. There, that's the painful spot, right? And if you can see his face, everybody, this hurts, right?
Very painful. Yes.
It hurts, right?
Oh, yeah.
Here, pick up your head. That helps, right?
Oh, yeah.
So how, do you play tennis this time of year? Do you like tennis?
Yes, I like tennis, but you know, with that type of body, it's hard to do.
Yeah. Okay.
You see that, yeah, you feel that, the
Yeah.
tightness of it.
All right, the next thing we're going to do is have you lie on your back. And we're going to just do, we're not going to, and again, I'm sure people are watching, want to see crazy stuff. I'm not going to do a Y-strap pull, I'm going to do a Y-strap stretch. Why? Because I don't want to hurt him.
That's
And it's going to be inappropriate for me to yank his spine and injure him. So we won't do that today.
Thank you very much.
But we can do a little bit of a stretch
Yeah.
and use this as the leverage that we need to get a nice axial stretch and along the axial plane of his skeleton. And just use this nicely and methodically. Do you feel that stretch?
Yes.
Here's a little more. Too much or okay?
It's okay, yeah.
Let's do 2 more. Big breath in and blow it out. Ugh. Good. And 1 more. Big breath in and blow it out. Good. Now, I do want to take a look at your breathing passageway. So scoot down this way. That should do it. I'm going to bring the nose over. Try breathing now. Any different?
Yeah, this one is a little bit closed now.
This one?
Yeah.
So we got to open that one. better now.
Yeah. Yeah, it opens.
Okay. Come
Well,
stand
so-
up. No, I'm glad. It's intense, right?
God.
Now, remember, we did your left leg,
Yes.
and we did a little Y strap, and then we did your left and right nostril. Walk around and see how you feel now.
Feels good, yeah.
Okay?
Feel much better. I think it needs a lot more time to come
Yeah.
to get released from everything.
So I've worked with cases similar to his that, you know, it takes a few months. He lives in Pennsylvania. He lives pretty far away. He may or may not be able to do that, but it's going to take at least 12 visits,
Yes.
you know. And you can come in if you'd like and see how you feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
I appreciate your concern that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, we don't want to
did
hurt
it.
you. We don't
Yeah.
want to break your ribs. We don't want to hurt your neck.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now I'm going to reach this way and feel these. That's another bad spot. So I'm now doing the bilateral comparison. I'm on this side now, and that's nasty. And he's in a lot of pain. He's been feeling very uncomfortable in his body for a long time.